Jay Smith, and this is Bradley Kendall. Review. We're live from Tadaro's Pizza in downtown Clemson. 25 for this coming season. We're going to go in depth in each further review.
The only thing in the spring.
Absolutely, the two go hand in hand. So title last year. You know, they're doing a series all week. Big ACC schools and whether or not they can contend. You've got teams like Virginia. 17.
I think you basically brought up those. You got the Florida State, obviously, who's going to be top 2 preseason. Now, Louis, I would worry about the most. You know, we obviously have Florida State. You know, they returned Francois, who was a big threat on the defensive end and safety. Sean to avoid.
They did year's game. They were able to hang, I think, when the Tigers played last year. You expect them to carry that over this coming season.
And even early on in the year, I mean, because
on the road,
which is going to be interesting. And we're going to have to develop our quarterback play and get things rolling. You know, we got Lamar on the road early on in the year, but
the Coastal can legitimately for a division title because I know, or a conference title because obviously Clemson, you know, and obviously Florida State has a close, but during shows, but he was really emerging. Give Clemson, Florida State.
I kind of compare the Coastal to the SEC East, kind of how the ACC. Really, the only team I would think played in the ACC championship game is obviously leaving, but they do have a guy Malik Rosier who threw 61 passes. He did, you know, have a pretty solid showing.
For sure. Yep.
Chance for an upset in the.
It's a New Year's 6, and depending on concern, his quarterback play really, especially when it was average. He wasn't outstanding, and they're coming in the Atlantic from the Coastal Divisions right now.
But at this point, I think they're just still on the outside. Next coming years, so it may.
One team from the ACC.
Preseason favorite in Florida State line was last year, and how they didn't protect Francois as much. Jackson, how they do things, but feel safe with going with Lamar.
I like Louis. Honestly, I'm leaning towards my.
Oh, you made that very well there.
And they ended up thinking it's going to have great wrong. And I think our course in the ACC a playoff berth because we
put them back up. Exactly.
But I still think that Miami a potential playoff berth this coming season.
They were up there. Miami gets a chance to boost their record up a little bit. Win against a team like Florida State.
Florida State for them will be Endo Campbell.
Prove themselves.
That's all it is.
Exactly.
Resume. The Big 12.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, it's been tough. Have a legitimate to have a solid year.
I want to say Oklahoma State. I really do. With they coming back, but you know, just what a year he had. All around the field. They got a guy, let's see, receiver James Washington. He's going to year, so they'll have one of the more higher-powered offense.
Yeah.
And maybe a team like TCU. Some of those guys. So I like.
I understand where you're coming from. TCU that there was a lot of hype around. A solid year for them. There's Penn State, you know, having that year where they won the Rose Bowl. Win, at least in my mind.
Yeah, and then people want to bring up Texas. They want to be honest, they're still a couple years away. Like South Carolina.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, obviously with all the to expect Herman to just I'd say at least 2 or 3 seasons.
It's going to be Oklahoma's conference to lose. Coming back.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That Oklahoma was the only undefeated team with losses. So that just shows you that
there was a lot of separation.
Oklahoma was able to take. So still a considerable gap in the playoff. I honestly would have to go like Oklahoma State, West Virginia, maybe a TCU. You know, long for them, I think they would falter.
One other cancer, unfortunately, but back, and most of their offensive line 9-4, so maybe another
4-game win streak.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of questions surrounding their. I like that. I like Kansas State. I think they make and look at the Big Ten. And this is a competition. You've got Wisconsin, Nebraska, Iowa. This past year, obviously, was Wisconsin. The East with Penn State, Ohio State, and Michigan. And, arguably it was very close to making the I like
starting to become the rest of their offense base. Penn State really has a legitimate shot this year if they didn't have the youngest team now that we're able to.
On Ohio State, I was more of both teams should be strong, but you're relatively little experience that I really did not. They like, honestly, it makes this the most interesting conference.
Yeah.
Both sides in both. Whereas the other conferences that we touched
equate the Big Ten West maybe to the ACC.
But again, the thing is when I look at Wisconsin was the only legitimate contender. They finished 11-3. But Minnesota went 9. Rebel. So but solid performances, something to mediocre team.
At this point, I would have to. Yeah.
That's why I feel like at this point the
teams that could probably contend at least for and about if they get to
championship and how much that factors. I'm gonna have to honestly go with Penn State just with they had a great. They picked up.
Well, did lose to USC, but
Ohio State got blanked in the that game that he'll have to. Penn State
Trace
right now,
McSorley.
I think it's our favorite.
I kind of want to lean towards Ohio State. Is going to be especially how you're going to represent and the big studs like Malik Cook.
Point out every team from the with a loss.
Wow.
Every single loss. Michigan lost 2. And Indiana lost 1. Maryland lost 0-9. But
goes to show if you're all the way.
How many teams people thought could look at the Pac? It's changed
It has
lot.
Gone.
Powerhouses that have dropped off. They came out of nowhere. Has a shot in the Pac-12.
They have so many great teams that they can comparing to guys like Carson Palmer. They lost a lot of talent. Juju Smith-Schuster obviously has got Dory Jackson officially committed or not, but they said offense and defense. I think they might be the favorite.
Yeah. State Civil War. Obviously, Washington went 12-2, 8-5. So I think that'll be the over in the. It's hard to believe coming into the season. I mean, when Colorado for USC 10-3 state, the Utes were 9-4. Now the North is the and lackluster. UCLA's been bad. Arizona.
Quarterback play is going to be huge. That Browning comes back.
Yeah, and
they're really only big returner. But
now, just
they do. I remember looking. I think
that could potentially
exactly that could be the year
in terms of quarterback matchup. So for me, honestly, I think it might be the weakest conference. I know the Big 12 home. I mean, here's the. I thought Browning was deserving of the Heisman and all that, but when they Alabama, they really disappointed me, and so Denver could make a run out of playoff berth. I don't.
State
maybe Washington get to the playoff just based off a quarter.
On the outside, they recruited well.
Out, it's feasible, but if Oregon and UCLA, who have had rough years.
What I'm curious to see for you. Because you saw last year how they got hyped up again and won about 8 games in a row. So on them.
So if you had to pick,
they are going to lose. So I'll have to find someone else to throw into. But
it's the safe pick. But
it's interesting. They're not even in the top.
And they played with the same physicality that Stanford played with several years ago. Again, very underhyped. Someone how Clemson's been the last with his chip on their shoulder. They could go on a champion. And I think they may have a legitimate argument.
Colorado is the system they were able to develop. in next year, but they have a legitimate system that they can use going forward against the U.S.
Because more often than not, it's going to. I think they have a legitimate shot. But we're going to move on to everyone's favorite conference. SEC. The SEC have a down year. You got Tennessee that had so many miracle plays. Coming off 3-9. Game, you have Auburn 8-5, LSU 8-4, A&M. You never State and Ole Miss at one point were 1-2. That feels like how volatile.
Legitimate threats. End of the year, they're probably going to have the same.
For the SEC is because Bama has that. Or the Tennessees, the Auburns, the conference champion for. It's either going to be from the SEC or the Big Ten.
Yeah. I would take the Big Ten.
And that's the argument that you're going to have to. I don't think any of these conference champions.
Which should scare the SEC. Tripped up later in the year against an SEC.
Yeah,
so,
especially to an ACC opponent.
I mean, whether it's Kirby Smart or Florida, someone's going to have to be ahead of schedule.
I have to agree with you. But
as Mark Wright said,
it's important to note they were the and that's the only instance teams have gotten double-digit wins from this past season. These, I mean, if you matched up mediocre SEC, mediocre ACC, I mean, it would probably quite struck.
Exactly. Yeah.
You've got one team, and you've got other guys who didn't even be at least.
Or, getting lucky like Tennessee did. It can't just all be a team. It doesn't work like that.
I don't think they, coming up having that luxury for them is gone.
If Bama is, you wouldn't think you would see that, but
Bama seems like a cop out. But that's who
I guess the dark horse maybe Auburn, knock off Clemson. He has some good quarterbacks.
And Alabama, that would be quite a resume booster. So I think I like LSU more than
impressed that their offense was last year.
I'm high on them.
And ESPN will be.
That's pretty much 5. Look at the different playoff berth, for next season, and I think season continues. Always something to talk about. Bradley Kendall. I'm Jason. Let me
Maybe you just get the talk. Yeah. Good call.